Thank you for joining the Northern Miner at the annual PDAC convention in Toronto. Joining me now is Western Exploration's CEO, Darcy Marud. Thank you for joining me.
No, pleasure. Thank you for having us.
All right, so Western Exploration is active in Nevada. Please give us a brief overview of the company's assets and where you're indeed operating.
Yeah, so we are in Nevada. We are in northern Nevada, just north of Elko, about an hour's drive north of Elko, right off a paved highway. So we've had this project since the late 90s as a private company, and now we're a publicly traded company on the TSXV. So we own about 62 square miles of a project called the Aura project, right off of a paved highway. It's a high-grade gold deposit with silver as well, an oxide deposit, and a deep sulfide deposit that we've made a new discovery on last year.
All right, so indeed, recent drill results returned some high-grade intercepts there at Gravel Creek. Can you tell us more about the highlights?
Yeah, so we've drilled an area adjacent to our Gravel Creek resource, which is about 750,000 ounces of gold and silver, gold equivalent actually. And about 100 meters away, we've made a discovery of some very high-grade veins that are averaging about 3/4 of an ounce per ton gold equivalent, with values up to about 157 gram per ton gold and over 4,000 gram per ton silver. So very high grades, but immediately adjacent to the current resource.
All right, and what style of mineralization are we talking about?
It's epithermal gold at our new discovery. It's a volcanic-hosted epithermal deposit. And then about 5 miles to the west, we have a Carlin-type discovery called Dobie George, which is about a gram per ton oxide right at surface, very similar to Jarrett Canyon, which is only about 25 kilometers to the south.
All right, so you've got a storied history. You've worked previously with the likes of Yamana Gold, Meridian, and Argonaut. Tell me a little bit more about what those lessons taught you and equipped you better to deal with today's challenge.
Yeah, so Argonaut, I did not work for Argonaut, but some of our team members have. Our CFO was with Argonaut, as is our Director of Investor Relations, Nicole Cowles. But I did work at Yamana's Executive Vice President, and before that, Senior Vice President of Exploration. And then I was VP of Exploration at Meridian. So those companies not only explored for deposits, but developed them and took them right into operation. So I think what it's prepared me for those past experiences was really looking at projects from a point of view that your ultimate goal is to mine them. Not only explore them and find some good drill results, but get them to a mine. So the way we filter our exploration results in our projects is to that end, to look at things that we think can become a mine in the short term. So that's what it's really taught me, was how to assess a project that you can kind of whittle away the exterior of it to see if you're going to get to that final goal of mine production.
Okay, so it certainly seems like what you are doing at the moment has investors sitting up and paying attention. You recently were named as included in the OTCQX's Best 50 list. Tell me a little bit more about what that means.
Well, I think what it really means is that we executed on our plan last year. So what the OTCQX 50 Best is really, you've shown an improvement in your share price and your volume over the years. So I think being a US-based company, we are TSXV listed as well, but being US-based with a US project, it's caught the attention of the US markets a little bit, and it's allowed us to develop more liquidity in those US markets. But I think really what's caught the attention of the market is these high-grade results. I think you don't see high grade all the time. It offers you very good margin to any kind of gold price. And we are completing a PEA on that oxide deposit we referenced earlier. So I think people see a company that's advancing their assets to, that next level of study, the PEA, and then also this new discovery. So it kind of covers all angle of the exploration game, going to something on development as well as adding high grade through exploration discovery.
Fair enough. So you're mentioning the PEA. Could you share with us what the projected timeline to publishing that is, and also what some of the other catalysts you are working towards entail?
Of course. So that PEA, we expect to have that done by the end of April. I think we're still on track to do that. We've got Kappas, Cassidy and Associates and Respect out of Reno, Nevada, both of those groups working on that. And that will also include an update on Gravel Creek as well for the resources. And that report, again, will be done by the end of April. We're working also on some additional drill programs that we've put in place. We put an announcement out, I think it was last Monday, where we announced the Wood Gulch exploration program. Wood Gulch was a past producing mine. It operated in the late 80s, early 90s with home stake mining. And that whole target around Wood Gulch, below Wood Gulch, along the feeder zone has never been drill tested. And there's over 3 kilometers of strike length that's very similar to Gravel Creek as far as geology, geochemistry goes. So we're excited about that target. We look forward to getting drilling started there, probably, I would say, late second quarter.
Exciting stuff. Lastly, tell me more about your capital structure and major backers.
So we have about 45 million shares outstanding in the market and about 60 million on a fully diluted basis when you include warrants and options, so very tightly held. Our major shareholder is a private equity group out of New York called Golconda LLC. Within Golconda, there's about 70 high net worth individuals and family offices, and they were critical to the company when we were private. In the mid-90s, or late 90s, sorry, all the way to 2013, they invested about $30 million of capital that led to that discovery of the Gravel Creek resource and the first technical report. Agnico Eagle owns about 14% of our company. They've been very good supporters of ours since 2017 and have participated in a number of private placements to the tune of about $16 million. And then we've got some institutional investors like Oramet Capital, who have been in every public round that we've done. They've participated. Europac with Adrian Day, and US Global as well as one of our institutional investors. In September of last year, we brought in a family office out of Houston, Texas, actually, called TSXV, who now own about 3% of the company as well. So a lot of institutional investors. We've got about 10% to 15%, depending on the week, in retail, and management and directors hold about 6% of the company as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, there you have it. Strong endorsements from investors, delivery on your execution, on your plans, and then a strong, forward-looking catalyst profile for you. That was Western Exploration CEO Darcy Marud. Thanks for joining me.